Richard and I have been sitting around talking and trying to figure out how we were going to celebrate this momentous year, you know, and really acknowledge what had been accomplished this year. And we came up with a plan that's actually, we believe, is an early holiday gift to the fans. We have reconfigured our boxing schedule, many of you know by now. But we took essentially what was 3 shows and we're turning them into 2 back-to-back quadruple headers, at least 3 championship fights on each one. I think the second one has 4 championship fights now. And it's going to be back-to-back, the 2 biggest back-to-back events that we've seen in quite a while. So I'll go ahead and go through the lineup here. December 7th at Barclays Center, that is still being headlined by Zab Judah and Paulie Malignaggi. We've added now, through the consolidation of the November 30th card, we've got 3 title fights on the undercard. Devon Alexander taking on Shawn Porter, it's a welterweight world title. Erislandy Lara versus Austin Trout, it's the interim Super Welterweight title. Sakio Bika and Anthony Dirrell for the WBC Super Middleweight Championship. So you've got the Battle of Brooklyn with 3 world title fights underneath. And again, this fits into the model. If we look at Austin Trout, for example, I want to acknowledge him. Austin is coming off of 2 back-to-back fights with Miguel Cotto and then with Canelo Alvarez. And what does he get as a thank you? It's not a break. Like I said, we match the fighters tough, and you know this is Erislandy Lara is as tough as the last 2 fights that he's had. But that's the commitment that our promotional partner Golden Boy has made. That's the commitment the fighters have made. Those are the types of fights that we like to see. Then the big change on December 14th. Of course, all of you know we had a pay-per-view card originally contemplated on December 14th. We still have a pay-per-view event. It's just we're charging nothing for it. This event is now going on Showtime. It's going to be produced just like a pay-per-view. It's going to be a quadruple header. It's going to have its own all-access. It's still going to be headlined by Adrian Broner and Marcus Maidana. One of the most exciting fights, you know, that we haven't already done this year. Added to that card will be another war. You know, Keith Thurman, Jesus Soto Karass. I think we're going to let the referee stay at home for that one, because I think those guys will just walk to the middle of the ring and start punching. Leo Santa Cruz, one of the young fighters who've really made a name for himself over the last year and a half. He'll be defending his world title against Cesar Seda. Also on the card, Beibut Shumanov versus Tomas Kovas. It's the World Light Heavyweight Championship. And finally, Victor Ortiz will be returning to action in that fight. He will be taking on Alfonso Gomez in his first fight in quite some time. So again, on that.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
Don't complain.
No, no.
Yeah, it's fine. Yes, right.
The more the merrier.
Right.
Let's get them out.
So on that one in particular, with the exception of Victor Ortiz, who's coming back after 18 months off in a broken jaw, 4 world title fights, pay-per-view worthy production. I don't think there's any question that this is a pay-per-view quality card. We have made some hard decisions. We've tightened the belt. We canceled our Christmas party, you know, for the year, and we're giving fans an early holiday gift by putting this on Showtime, where it is all where it really deserves to be seen. And I've got to thank my promotional partner because there were some financial sacrifices that had to be made all around. Richard, like I, am committed to putting on the best fights on the network whenever possible. Richard.
And Lem can take off his hat and we can pass it around so you guys can all chip in. No, this is really quite amazing. I mean, this is, you know, did I think that the Broner pay-per-view was going to do 500,000 homes? No. But did I think that the Broner pay-per-view is going to do somewhere in the 200,000, 175 to 200, 225,000? Absolutely. To be able to put that card together, pretty much with Broner, Maidana, Thurman, Soto Karass, Leo Seda, and then Shumanov and Victor Ortiz, it's clear it's a pay-per-view card. And I do not remember in the history since we've been promoting that there was any live network card with that kind of lineup. And I think it very much shows the commitment Showtime has, and I want to thank Steven and Matt Blank, and particularly as well Leslie Moonves, the CEO, Chairman and CEO of CBS, the parent corp, who has a strong commitment to the sport, and first and foremost is a fan of the sport, goes to the fights, enjoys it, takes his friends and his family there, and I'm just thrilled to be able to do business with partners like that, and for them to be able to come up at the end of the year, you can just imagine with the necessary funds to do that is absolutely spectacular. And it's not that we really canceled that any of the guys is not going to be busy, because Devon is on the Barclays card, so we just rearranged everything, and I think this is a one-two punch. Thank you to the fight fans on behalf of Showtime, on behalf of Golden Boy, to what has been an absolutely spectacular year.
Now this fight will not be in Vegas.
No, this fight will be at the Alamo Dome, at the big setup at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio on December the 14th. San Antonio is excited or thrilled to have this fight back. San Antonio has become over the past 12-18 months for us like home away from home. Tremendous fight fans there, and I know they're going to be embracing one of the greatest cards, one of the most action-packed cards we have ever put together.
Stephen, how much did the success of the Mayweather fight, the pay-per-view, contribute to moving the 14th up?
It really it was unrelated, to be quite honest. You know, we thought none of us were completely thrilled with putting that fight on pay-per-view. We really thought that Broner, while he is a star, can benefit from the widest possible exposure still, even at this point. So we will see Adrian Broner on pay-per-view in the very near future. That's a financial reality. But right now, we're just happy that we could, find enough quarters in the couches to put together this event back on Showtime Network.
Mark Bucardi, who actually approached Broner, and he's the head of Indie Man, who is distributing all the pay-per-views for the cable industry. He approached me and Adrian when we did our last fight at the Barclays Center, and he said that he feels that Adrian Broner is ready for pay-per-view. And so when we informed them, the industry, yesterday, that we were going to not do the pay-per-view, they were quite disappointed because they were obviously looking forward to have another pay-per-view in December. But I think this is really the best for Adrian, the best for the fight fans, and the best for everyone, to give that card the opportunity to be watched by as many people as possible.
The shows both at regular 9 p.m. start time?
More likely with a quadruple header, we're probably going to be starting slightly earlier, probably 8 Eastern. That's not for sure, so but I think that's my preference.
Steve, on that 14th show, though, in all seriousness, is it 2 quadruple headers?
It will be one of those will be an extreme fight.
Which one, Shumanov or?
We're still working on it.
But I mean, when you say one of them will be.
One of Ortiz or Shumanov.
Fair enough, okay.
So if you will name the opponents again for Santa Cruz, Shumanov, and Ortiz.
Cesar Seda for Leo Santa Cruz, Puerto Rican. Tamas Kovacs for Beibut Shumanov. And Alfonso Gomez for Victor Ortiz.
Is it most likely? It seems like it would most likely be Victor on Showtime, given his name recognition compared to Shumanov.
Yeah, but Shumanov is a world title fight, so so we'll see.
They'll arm wrestle for it.
I like Shumanov.
you whatever, and that you are out of money, and look how stupid those guys are at Showtime, spending all the money, and then they have nothing left. Well, nothing left is pretty good for December 7th and December 14th. I would say that Broner Maidana is without any question, the best TV fight on live TV right now, from a matchup point of view, but from a significance for the sport, from an impact it has on the sport as well. This is as good as it comes. I cannot imagine a better live fight than Broner against Maidana. And then,
Richard, one more question before I go here. Alfred Angulo, did Jorge Melendez in essence price himself out of this particular spot?
Yes, he did, and so we moved on. We're going to be sitting down with Alfredo and planning on doing something probably in January, maybe from Los Angeles, with Alfredo Angulo, and then obviously we have Molina as well, the 154-pound IBF World Champion. So we're going to see what's going to happen, what's going to be happening with him.
Yeah, and you know, back to Steve, your previous question. I'm certainly aware of sort of the speculation, the rumors going around about, you know, I think there's really two things. One, Showtime was out of money, and two, even more strangely, that we had put all our best talent already on the pay-per-view, and we didn't have anybody meaningful to fight for the rest of the year. You know, I was aware of those rumors, the speculation, and I know what the source of those was. We were patient. You know, we have a patient scheduling approach. We worked this out. This is the best case scenario. And as you can see, our talent pool is very deep. There's more than enough talent to do these two cards.
Then I'm going to be meeting with Miguel Cotto as well to see, you know, what the possibilities and what the opportunities are. But the fact is, I anticipate that within the next few days, within the next week, I'll be announcing when Canelo will be fighting next. And then we'll see who is out there. And there is a lot of names for Canelo. If it's not a Cotto, it could be a Molina, it could be an Angulo. I mean, there's plenty of names. You know, it could be the winner of Lara Trout fight. So there's plenty of opportunities. But I think Molina certainly is going to be fighting sometime in the beginning of the year.
Hey, why move it from Vegas? Why San Antonio?
Well, you have a very convincing co-promoter there with Jesse James Lecha and with Mike Bata. They really wanted to bring a big fight to San Antonio again. As you know, we were planning on doing November 30th in San Antonio. So we started having conversations, and he's been pitching us. He really wanted the pay-per-view for a long time, and so finally we said, okay, if we're going to eliminate November 30th, why don't we keep an event in San Antonio, which I felt was important, and so the logical one was to do December 14th from San Antonio.
Richard, you said that you would be sitting down with Miguel Cotto in his last fight with Devon Rodriguez in the post-fight press conference. He made it clear that if a Canelo Alvarez fight between himself were to take place, that you would have to sit down with Top Rank. Is this a sign that you're willing to do business with him and you're going to attempt to?
No. No. There's nobody from Top Rank going to be sitting in that meeting. If Miguel Cotto wants to fight, no problem, but it will have to be without Top Rank.
Thank you.